Hello and good evening, everyone from Europe. Hello, Coral Club members and friends. Thank you for joining us today. Before we begin, I wanted to help make sure everyone was set up properly. Today, we're going to be talking about doing business in the USA and how to develop your network overseas. So, in the Zoom, you should get some translation. So, we're offering this webinar in two languages. It'll be in English and Russian. So everyone, please, if you could just go to your settings in Zoom and select the correct language for you. I'll give everyone just a few seconds, and I'm gonna check to make sure everything's working. Okay, and let's see. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna get started then. Also, as we do our topic today, we're going to be talking about a couple different. There will be a few different topics that we're going to go through. And as we go through these topics, you're probably going to have a lot of questions that we aren't going to answer in the Zoom today. But I would like for everyone to take the chance to post your questions within the Zoom chat. So if you, throughout the day as we go along, just put whatever questions you have. And at the end of it, we're going to collect all of the questions and we're going to post it on our Telegram. This is for the North American Coral Club. So we'll post all the questions and all the answers on the Telegram. And I'm going to go on to the next page now. Okay, so we're all here today because we wanted to find out, we have a question about why are we doing business in the USA or why should we do business in the USA? One
Я
second.
хочу, тут интересная информация, бизнес в Америке развивается.
Okay, so one of the main reasons that we think you should enter a new market is, well, the first thing is that Coral Club is an international company. And because of this, it allows you to create a more stable source of income by doing business across different countries. So the benefit of this is that you're not limited to just the economic health of one country. Most of you who are joining us today, you guys are joining us from Europe, and you already have the benefit with the European Union. There's already a lot of neighboring countries that you have access to. But in the end, Europe itself is kind of on the same type of economic market. So it would also be beneficial to have at least one other country within your structure that is outside of the European Union. That way, if there's any kind of recession or any kind of economic hardships going on in your local market, if you have a successful structure that is outside of that, like let's say in America or USA, then you know that at least part of your income is going to remain stable and it's not going to be exposed to the risks of that country. So it's just a good strategy. Okay, and all right. So we'll move on to the next slide. Market potential. So just continuing on to why the USA. I was going to mention just a few points that will help you understand why the USA would be a good partner for you. So in the US, we have 330 million people. Uh, and out of these 330 million people, according to our government, about 230 of them already use vitamins and supplements. And of the 330 million people, 41 million are currently purchasing some type of product through direct selling or MLM. and 7 million people are currently selling or distributing through MLM or direct selling. So what do these numbers mean? Basically, we're trying to establish here that there's a lot of people in the US. Um, about 70% of them are already using vitamins and supplements, so you have a market. And also, almost 50 million people are somehow involved in the MLM business model. So this is not going to be something completely unusual when you try to. So this won't be something completely unusual when you talk to a friend or family member in the US. It's already an accepted way of doing business here.
Mm.
And then this last point that I want to bring up is I'll just make a note right here. This one is very important. We say that there is, according to our internal data, this is for Coral Club members. In the USA, Coral Club customers in the USA place larger orders than any other country. So this basically means that in the USA, our orders have a higher dollar amount per person than any other country that we do business in. So by having a structure here, you'll also get the benefits of this trend. And the reason why this is happening is it's mainly because of the strong economy in the US. Our consumers and our distributors, they have a lot more discretionary income. They're able to spend more with us every time they come to visit us. So this is a very important part, and this should be a key motivator for anyone who's considering doing business in the US. Okay. So the next thing I want to mention is we already talked about in this past slide, we talked about some of the numbers of the market for you to understand that there is a big potential of people who are available to you. So now in the next slide, we're going to talk about why are you or what can you discuss with these people? How can you connect with them? So in the USA, we have this issue where unfortunately our health in the US is not the best. According to our government center for Center of Disease Control (CDC), 70% of Americans are overweight. 50% of Americans have at least one chronic disease. That means that half of Americans either have high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, or some kind of deficiency in a vitamin or mineral. And 50% of Americans have a poor diet, which means that either their food consists of too much sugar, too much salt, or too much processed meats. So all of this leads to our poor health in this country. And again, the Coral Club lifestyle is a great solution to helping people deal with all of these challenges. So you're going to have a lot of people who need your help and who are going to benefit from your business and from your contact. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is I wanted to share with you what do we already have in place in the USA. So Coral Club has been active in the US for a few years now. And during these past few years, we've been working very hard to establish our infrastructure. So some of you may know that 70% of all Coral Club products that are sold around the world are actually made in the USA. And for the other 30% that's not made in the USA, of course, we're importing them into the US from Europe and Asia. So these 2 points are important because this will let you know that we have a great supply chain here in the US. When you have customers that start working with you, start doing business with you, you know that they're going to have a good supply of products. And it's going to be extremely rare that we will run out of a product because most of it is already made here. So you don't have to worry about, things being out of stock and not being able to, conduct your business because we don't have products to sell. So this is not an issue for us. I did notice that someone is raising their hand. I just want to let you guys know, please put your questions in the chat. And then at the end, we're going to collect all the questions. We're going to respond to everyone and we'll post it in our Telegram. And then I'll share all the details with you at the end. So the third point that I wanted to make is in the US, we have a local call center that's actually located in Toronto, Canada. Our call center, we have four languages that are spoken in our call center. So our colleagues in the call center speak English, Spanish, Ukrainian, and Russian. They are there to provide support to all the customers as well as distributors because we do have a local distributor relations team. So once you do establish a structure, uh, they will have local support. So they're not going to be dependent upon you alone. They will have a number that they can call. They'll have access
Mhm.
to Telegram chat or anything
Слушай,
else in order to get the support that they need as a distributor and of course as a consumer too. We also have a local marketing team. Our local marketing team is this part is important because they understand the local demographic in the US. They understand how to connect to the American people and what's the best way to create the social media content. So they're regularly posting on our Telegram channel, on our Instagram, our Facebook. So we do have a local marketing team. We also have two warehouses in the US. One is in Atlanta, Georgia, and one is in Las Vegas, Nevada. So by having these two locations, we have great coverage throughout the whole US, which means that your customers will get their products usually within 2 to 3 delivery business days. And we partner with FedEx, so we have the advantage of using their infrastructure as well. So we talked a little bit about some of the reasons why it's a good idea to do business in the US. We talked about that there is a great population, a great opportunity. We talked about that there is a need for doing business in the US because of the current health status of the average American. We also talked about our infrastructure that Coral Club already has in the US. So a lot of the work is already done for you. And now I wanted to talk about how you can actually get started. So we're going to discuss the actual steps involved for, if you have a friend or a family member who is, in the US and maybe they're interested in either buying a product or becoming a distributor. I'm going to now talk to you about what you can do or how you can guide them to starting that journey. So the first thing is if you have someone who wants to become a distributor, it's very simple. We have the same process as you would in Europe. You simply give them your referral code, and they would go onto our website. They would sign up using your referral code. We have a distributor agreement, which in other markets it might be referred to as a marketing agreement. In order to be a distributor in the US, you have to be at least 18 years or older. And there's also a $30 fee to register as a distributor. So they pay all this online and they have to have a tax ID number. Again, this is only to be a distributor. If you have someone who just wants to buy a product, then anyone can join. For that, they have to be at least 13 years old. They can go onto our website, sign up, and they can start purchasing products through your referral code. But to become a distributor, they have to have a tax ID number that's issued by the US government. And it could be either their personal tax ID number, or if they have a business, it could be the tax ID number for their business too. And then this is just a very basic primitive point I wanted to make that in the US, to become a director, you have to have 500 volume points. And from these 500 volume points, 350 of those have to be from their structure. And what this means is that they themselves can't go and simply buy 500 points worth of products. They have to have a structure. And in fact, in the US, it's not even a requirement that they make a purchase for themselves. This is kind of a legal nuance where we cannot make it mandatory for our distributors to actually buy products for themselves. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next page. Very important. I actually want to take some time to share some of our resources. So everything that I'm going to share with you right now, we're going to create a single PDF document, and we're going to share this PDF document in our Telegram channel. So this PDF will have all of the questions that are asked today. It'll have all of the answers to those questions, and it'll also have all of these resources or links to these resources. So when you do have someone who becomes a distributor, We have already created materials in English that you can share with them and that they can use to kind of learn and train themselves on how to, well, they can learn about the company, they can learn about the products that we have, they can learn about the concept of health, and they can learn about how to do a business, how to be a distributor themselves. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes here. I'm going to share with you these resources. Give me one moment. So the first thing we have here is our catalog. I invite everyone to take a look at our catalog in the US. You will notice that we have a few, there's some small differences between what you might be available. Because of local regulations and local rules, we might have had to change the name of some product, or maybe we don't have every single product that you're used to. But I would say probably 99% of the products that you have in Europe, we also have here in the US. So for sure, if there are certain products that you work with the most, take a moment, go to our website. It's us.coral.club. Go to our catalog and just make sure that you know what you're usually working with is there. Again, you'll see that 99% of what you're used to is already here. The other thing that I wanted to share with is we have our back office. So this is should be the same as what you are used to on your own sites in Europe. And in the back office, if you go to My Tools and you go to Resources, you'll see that there's a folder called North America, and then there's another folder called English, as well as Spanish. In this folder, we have a lot of resources that are already translated, and these resources will help share some information about the company, about our catalog, about doing business, about the products. So again, you don't have to create all of this. We already have it ready to go. You just have to go in there and kind of pick and choose what you want to use to share with your potential consumer or potential distributor. The next thing I want to share was our Coral Business Academy. So CBA is actually a very powerful tool. It's basically a platform that we've created to teach people who are new to doing business with Coral Club or people who are new to doing business in the US. It offers materials about, again, the concept of health, about how to do business in the US. We even have a tool here that will help your distributors organize challenges in the US. So this is also another great resource that we recommend you using. And finally, we have one more resource is called Healthy Business. Healthy Business is basically just a very quick, very basic introduction to Coral Club, and it's translated in English. It actually has different languages too. There's Bulgarian, Czech, German, French, a lot of languages in here. But the benefit to this page is that you could just send this to someone, and as they scroll through, it kind of gives them an introduction to the company. It gives them an introduction to how to do business with us, about concept of health. So it's a very nice, just a simple one-page thing that's already translated to English. It's another great resource. So again, we'll be including all of these materials in the PDF that we'll share, but it's very important that everyone signs up with our Telegram. So please add this to your Telegram. Take a picture of this QR code. It's going to come in handy for you for after the webinar today. Okay, so we talked about how to become a distributor in the US. We talked about some of the resources that's available for our consumers and our distributors in the US. And now the next thing that we want to share with you is how for you, for those of you who are in Europe, how can you actually scale your business in the US? And it will mainly be through social media. So you have to kind of pick your platform, and maybe you'll already have an account with some of these platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat. But these are the ones that are mainly popular in the US. So I would recommend everyone look into these platforms to kind of create your account on these platforms. And whatever that you're doing currently in your existing social media, you can simply just adopt it to or make a new account for your US audience, or even use the same account that you have and just post that same material for your US audience. The thing is, though, when you do speak, and I think this is basically common amongst all markets, this is not only for the US, just remember that you should be speaking truthfully. So it's very important that in the US, you do not tell people that our products have medicinal properties. Um, do not promise any unattainable results or any fantastic incomes. You know, we want to be realistic with the expectations that we give our consumers and distributors. But more importantly, we want you to share your story, talk about the concept of health. You can share your product testimonials and just talk about the Coral Club story in general. We've noticed that of those distributors in the US who are most successful, these are the strategies that they use. And by doing this, you will gain the benefits of a stable structure and a very prosperous economy in the US. Uh, the other thing that you can do is that we also have offline events that are sponsored by the company. So in the US, every year we have two events. Usually there's an event in April or March and another event in September. And they're in different cities. So our next event is going to be in Sacramento, California. It's going to be on September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And these events are actually very popular and very effective in the US. Our internal data shows that every time we have an event, there is a noticeable increase in consumer activity, in orders placed, in the growth of structures. So this is a very, very helpful part of doing business in the US. So yes, please, we have a QR code right here for how to register for our next event. Um, I do know that for many it might be a challenge to travel, but if for those of you who can travel to the US, I highly recommend doing so because it's very helpful when you're able to come in and to actually locally connect with your structure. We already have a lot of successful top executives from Europe and from Kazakhstan who travel all the way from Europe and Kazakhstan to the US and they attend our events, they speak at our events. And later on today, we're going to spend a little bit of time and let them talk about their experiences so that you can kind of understand how it has been like for them to do business in the US. So, with that said, I want to start off by handing over the microphone to our lovely Natalia Krasi. Natalia is going to talk about how her experience has been with doing business in the US. She's actually been working with us for a couple of years now, so she has a very good experience, and she'll be able to speak very closely to how she's done it. So I'll go ahead and start muting myself, and let's see.
Hello, Narek. I would like to say thank you because when you named the benefits of why someone should develop their business in the US, I think it's great that we are already doing that. We're hitting the point here. This country that is their motherland of MLM business. MLM business is loved here. So let's start from the beginning. Those facts that you named, they inspire me, and I agree with them totally. So, you might think, oh yeah, Natalia Krasi, she goes to the US, she has an opportunity, she has a visa. I'm pretty sure somebody had these thoughts, but how can you get there? And you think, okay, I'm developing a business, how can I do this? We're sitting here in Europe or Ukraine, how we can develop our business in the US. You know, you can talk a lot about it, but let's start from my story. When I was just dreaming about going to the US, I was not yet in Coral Club business, and then I buried this dream because I was sure I will not be able to reach this. Never. Never give up on your dreams. And when I got this opportunity to go to Eric Ward training in Las Vegas, I decided that I will try this. I will do the visa. I got the visa. I go there. And you know with what vision I went there? USA, the country of network marketing. 12,000 network marketing professionals. I will learn so much there. I will see how this business is done. Eric Warwick himself. I went there with such a big inspiration. Everything was so great. I went to this big hall. I saw all these people. But when the conference started, I was not disappointed. I was happy. Friends, we're doing exactly the same thing. We talk about the same things. They have the same values that ours. Health, finance, well-being, travel. They were telling their stories, exactly the same stories we are saying. So the specifics of developing business in the US, it's not different. It's exactly the same as we have. Second, I understood that it's so cool. Yeah, we know how to do everything, me myself for sure. So when I came to develop my business, started to talk to people, I got the same question. Why are you better? We have a lot of this, and that's true in the US, in pharmacies, grocery stores, gift shops, airport, everywhere you can buy supplements. And everyone asked me, why are you better? And I had just one answer. We are not better, we are different. We have water and we have the concept of health, something that Nari just talked about. If you will be telling your story through concept of health and water, people will hear you. Someone will think, oh, I don't know the language. I will be honest with you, I don't know the language either. Yeah, I'm trying to learn it, but it's kind of hard right now for me. I will tell you, I don't know the language. But there are our people, Ukrainians, Europeans, they are there. And it's really hard for them to work. And I'm a person that worked for a while in another country. I understand how hard it is to work in another country, to do the cleaning, to work in kids' places. It's really hard. And I got this inspiration to find our Ukrainian people there, to find them and to tell them in their native language what I know. And since they live there for a long time, they are able to translate it into English and gives this meaning, gives this sentence to the Native Americans. And this happened. All my team in the US, we have two very strong branches there. All of them are people that one day, 10, 20, 30 years ago, they left to the US. And these people, they started to develop. We already have two strong branches using the same system that I just named. Don't be afraid that you don't know the language. Even our president, so he says that we learn new languages. Of course, if you're young, please learn the language. Even if you're older, also do this. Friends, what I wanted to say. Long time ago, when Coral Club just started launching in Europe, I thought, oh, in Germany there are the first distributors, in Italy there are the first distributors. I was dreaming about having the first distributors in Europe. Friends, I have distributor almost in every country in Europe. And I'm talking about partners in every country of Europe. And then I dreamed about doing the business in the US because my dream is to visit the US. And then I got a dream to build a business there. Friends, dream big, dream. There is so much people, especially in this hard time. A lot of people left Ukraine. They left to US and they are there right now. They're searching how to start. And we are silent. We don't tell them. We think that they will not be interested in the US. They will be indeed. They are so interested when you tell them that you can have a $100, $200, $300 check. They want to understand how to work in the US, how to work there if the US is another time zone. Those people who really want to develop their business, it's the best thing for them. At the end of your workday, when you can't call anyone on Ukrainian time or European time, that's when you have an opportunity to call people in the US. From 11 p.m., 1 p.m., 1 a.m. That's how we're working. I see that Oksana Bysachan is here. I'm asking her, why are you here? Why are you still not asleep? And she's telling me, I'm working with the US. So yesterday at 1 a.m., I was talking to my American network. That's an advantage. So why not? And you know, these advantages that Narek named, that their average check is way higher than in any other country, it gives us an opportunity to raise qualifications way faster than we do in our regions. Because for the US, purchasing a product, everybody tells me, well, how can you surprise me? I'm telling you that US is a country where people are able to pay a lot. For them to purchase a product for director value is just like making a purchase for one family. That's why the speed is different there. That's why I see a huge potential in the US. Today I visit all of their events because I know the beginning it's always so slow, not always showing results very fast, but a few time will pass and we will see the results of our actions. We will be so impressed that our business is being developed across the whole world. It doesn't matter what situation there is in my country, my business is developed in 47
My
countries
business
worldwide.
is developing in every single
48
country in
countries
the world.
worldwide. From 48 countries worldwide,
I
I'm
earn
receiving my income, and one
money
of
in
them is
47
US
countries
and
in the world.
Canada.
One of those countries is the USA. That's why
So it's
it's
incredibly
an
important
amazing
factor
and
that
important
should be a
factor
trigger for
that
you.
is a very
That's something that will
that
help you
help you
to turn on, to dream,
dream.
to just
To just
go
do it,
mad
to
and
just
make
take
the
a
visa
visa and
and
go
go
to
to
the
the US.
USA. There's a lot of things
The
to
US
see
is
in USA. It's
incredible
an amazing
country.
country.
There is so much to
Well, a
see
lot of
there.
interesting locations.
I have such a point. I
a
am
very
collecting states.
there is one
Quite
thing I
often,
do. I collect
locals,
states,
natives in the US,
people.
they tell me, we haven't
Uh,
seen as much as you have.
I
I've
have
already collected
I have
11
11
states.
states in my collection.
I'm
I
trying to visit
try
the
to
most
visit
interesting
a lot of
places.
interesting
It's
places.
possible to develop serious big business
You
while
can
traveling.
develop interesting business,
Business that will
serious
give you
business,
passive income
where you
and
will earn
joy from
the
what you are
passive
doing.
income and get
So, guys, please dream
those
and
friends,
know that
dream,
it is
and know
possible. If
everything
it
is
was
possible. It
possible
was
for me,
possible for
it is
me, and it will
possible
be
for
possible
you.
for you.
If you
If you have
have
any
any
questions for
questions
me,
for me, I will be here
I will
until
be
the
here
end
until
of
the end of the
our Zoom
meeting. I
and
will
will
be
be
here
glad
until
to
the
answer
very
your
end, and I'm very happy
questions.
to answer any questions you have. I'm very happy that we are together right now, that we can do this webinar. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the invitation to participate in it. And really, Narek already told a lot of important things. And the market in the USA, in North America, is extremely big. And if I work for myself for a long time, and it's very interesting to get this information that Narek gave us. To be honest, you need a lot of help to open a new country for yourself, and it will be a lot of, and it will be hard for myself. But I see, and thanks to Coral Club, this extreme an advantage that everything is already prepared. We have everything, we just need to start doing it. And the most beautiful thing is that I can speak to you in German and we can see that everyone understands everything clearly. There is a translations and then it's amazing. And I have a question for you. Please give me a plus in the chat for everyone for who is already in USA and in Canada, so we can see how many people can hear us from around the world, so we can see the potential that we have right now here. And the very important moment is that we need to know how it started. And I really, honestly, here's my wife. She is the one who started the business in USA, and she's the one who opened the American market. I will give the word to my wife. Everyone, hello. I want to talk a bit about how I got my first people in USA. It was about a year ago. I was my cousin was visiting us. My brother and other relatives, they came to Germany from US. She traveled a lot. She went a long way to come to us. And here in Germany, she was able to try our products. And she understood that it's amazing to drink water, to drink the right kind of water. And it seems she had a lot headaches for a very long time, and she went through the concept of health. I will introduce her to the concept of health. She brought it with herself to the US, and that's where it started. After a month, her husband also got interested, and in 5 minutes, she became a director. And that's how our structure in the US was born. And this structure helped us in 2 months or 3, sorry, to become an executives. That's why this structure grew so very fast that we supported the structure, not only us, but our mentors, our sponsors, and it's an extremely great opportunity and advantage that my sister speaks Russian, and that's why we didn't work alone. Our mentors always helped us. I will give the word to my husband Marcus, and it's very important when they got the information that to understand the difference between Europe and US, and for us, we needed to change the mindset. What pluses there in Europe, what pluses there in US, and to be true, in Europe, it's very simple, very easy. We can just order it ourselves, and that's it. There is no question about it. And US, it's a bit harder. There are different conditions. There's different, and to understand that the system, we needed to change our mindset. And those who are not from the US, you need to see those days, those numbers. This is a different system in US. And another extremely important moment, you don't need to have personal volume. That's why there is a lot more action there. But in Europe, it's different, more freedom. We have transfer, for example, to use it, and we could support each other through transfer. In US, it doesn't work like this. We don't have transfer. Plus, in US, you receive your earnings right away. In other countries in Europe, you have to register as the interpreter. You have to have your company to receive earnings. We understood everything. We worked with it, and using all this information, we started working. And in the end, as my wife said, it wasn't only us who worked with our team, with our structure in US. All of our mentors upline, they saw the potential. They all work with our team in US. It was a great support from them, and I would say you, everyone here who just started, who only wants to start, you can achieve great results, serious results, if you accept this reality that exists there. I know for sure that Coral Club supports everyone who chooses to do business. You will never be alone. You have a great support. And I know for sure that I can tell that you start loving this support. You start, and then you receive for yourself the great feedback that makes your quality of life better. That's why for us, there are several moments that we had to solve. It wasn't a smooth ride, but it's important for us that it was a warm contact. Someone came to us, to our home, and our relative, and it was 11,000 kilometers contact, but still we were able to maintain as a warm contact. And now I see from what was born, and I can see that a lot of people work through social media. A lot of people work through warm contacts, and of course, friends, relatives, everyone, all of them. As soon as they don't have them anymore, you start to work with call contacts. Of course, important instrument is social media to show everything, to tell about everything. It should be this Coral Club is in the end how to show it. You will still grow step by step. You will grow. What we want to say from outside, we're extremely happy that we had this opportunity, that we were able in such a short time. We opened an executive 20K thanks to our structure in USA. We believed in our structure in the US and another part of the world, and this human warm something, it's extremely important for the work. I'm extremely happy that we're able to use this opportunity. I'm happy that in April we were in Miami at the event, and we met our team personally, not through the SMS, not through emails. We were able to support them ourselves there. We hugged them. We gave support to each other. They were friends, a team not only from US, but also from Canada. This is an amazing connection, the same connection that I have with my wife. When you have this human connection, this is something that you can build to share those emotions. And I really want to say, please come to these events. At those events, it's where you can grow. Those events where you can be inspired. Be brave, use this information, share this information. And I can tell to every single one of you, exit your comfort zone, start something new for yourself, and you will never regret it. That's why I wish to every single one of you a lot of the success. Please try for yourself, and you will find out on your example how great this open new countries. As Natalie said, if you only work in one country, and if you will be in a lot of countries in the world, it will have the foundation in the many countries where you don't need to be afraid, where you can be happy. And I can tell that if I have a support and foundation in business, and I have a headache, If I have a second foundation, in case I don't have anything, it will be very hard for me. But in Coral Club, you have an opportunity to grow and grow and grow. There is no really any frames, only higher and higher. I'll give my word to Narek. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Very well said. Okay. I would like to again thank our speakers, both Marcus, Larissa, as well as Natalia. Thank you guys very much for your testimonials. It was very insightful and I hope very inspirational to all of our listeners here who are considering doing business for themselves. Understand that it will require a little bit of effort. There are some nuances because it is a different country and not everything is exactly the same as what you're currently used to. But these are small challenges and they are very much achievable. And I think with a little bit of effort from your side, you too will be able to experience great results. So as we come to the end of our webinar, I wanted to just share one more time. Let me go to my screen. So I would like to invite everyone to please contact us. We have some numbers here for local support. This is the number that your local consumers and distributors would use to contact our call center. The second one is our messenger. Again, this is for local support for our distributors and consumers. Alina and Luda are working with in our distributor department here in the US and Canada. So if you have any questions about growing your structure, or if you have any questions related to the marketing agreement or becoming a distributor, I would invite you to contact either Alina or Luda. They are our local specialists in that category. And again, please just make sure that you have joined our Telegram. We are going to collect all the questions from today. We're going to also consolidate the different resources that we discussed, the catalog, the Coral Business Academy, and so on. And we're also going to have a summary of the testimonials that we heard today, just to share with you in PDF format, and that'll be posted in our Telegram channel. So thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope the information was helpful for you in making your decision on how to start doing business in the US. So until next time, and I hope to see many of you in Sacramento in September. So everyone have a good day, and until next time, thank you.